awesome? I love it. Hey everybody, I'm Vera Stewart and welcome to the VeryVera Show. You know, the hottest thing on Instagram right now is meal prep. Whether you're making containers like this to take to work or you're putting things in the freezer for later use, everybody's putting it on Instagram right now. And we're going to speak to that today on the VeryVera Show. We're going to start with a breakfast dish that if you've got children that you're getting ready for school, this is perfect for you. It's a baked berry oatmeal full of fruit. It is fantastic. Then for lunch, you want to be the talk of the break room and the office when you bring in a honey lemon chicken bowl. Bite size, you can eat it with a fork. The break room is going to smell fantastic. And then finally for dinner, you know, those days where you're not going to be able to get a meal prepared, the marinated steak and vegetable kebab is the dish for you. So we've got 3 great recipes and I'm ready to get started on that breakfast baked berry oatmeal. All right, well, if you're tired of cereal and yogurt, this is definitely the way to go. The kids are going to love this, whether you serve it warm or you use it cold as a bar. So you're just starting with quick oats. I'm going to add in baking powder, cinnamon, salt, and brown sugar. We're just going to mix this together. And this is going to go into a Pyrex dish, a 9x13, that I've already prepared with my pan spray. So that's together. Now we're going to add into our wet ingredients. Go ahead and beat your eggs before you add it to the milk. It goes a little bit faster. Honey. And a lot of this stuff are things you already have in your pantry. That makes it even easier because you won't even have to put it on your grocery list. All right, got a little bit of vanilla flavoring and melted butter. And I'm just going to whisk that together. And you see how much easier it is to whisk it together when you've already beaten those eggs. All right, so now you're just going to pick up frozen berries at the grocery store. And these are very economical, so usually what you have with that are strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries. So I'm going to put about half of this in my pan, and I'm sure you're probably thinking, why isn't she cutting those strawberries up? But actually the berries really bake down, so most of that will really get a little bit soft when you're baking it. All right, so you've got half of those in the pan. Now I'm just going to cover my berries with my dry ingredients. This is one of those recipes you can get that young person in the kitchen with you, making what they're going to have for breakfast all week. All right, so let me just smooth that around. Now we're going to add the rest of the berries on top. And you can add in a little bit of that juice too. So this, in terms of meal prep, is a way on Sunday afternoon to kind of get your thoughts together for the entire week. What are you going to have for breakfast every morning? What can you take for lunch? What can your husband take for lunch? What could you have in case you get into a jam during the week and you don't have time to make dinner? So this breakfast, you can serve it hot on the first day you bake it. Then it can be cut into bars for snacks during the week when the kids get home from school. And would you believe that it comes out to 72 cents a serving? So as far as meal prep is concerned, you're really getting into those home economics of how to save money. All right, I'm going to top that with a little bit of pecans. And that, of course, is optional. So when I made this and tested the recipe, and I just loved it because I love oatmeal, for me, I really love for the fruit to be a little bit heartier. So if you want to change up and not do the frozen, your costs are going to go up just a little bit. But to do apples, blueberries, cranberries, fruits that will stay intact when they bake, that is really different too. You can add a little bit of extra cinnamon or nutmeg, whatever flavors. But this is going to bake in a 350-degree oven for about 15 to 20 minutes till it's nice and bubbly. First morning, let them have it warm with with a little bit of butter and milk. And then, as I said, it can be cut into bars, or it can be used all week, heated again. So, first thing we're doing is breakfast, easy, quick, economical. When we come back from the break, we're going to get started on a honey lemon chicken bowl that's going to have you be the talk of the office for the rest of the week. So come back with us in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody, and if you're just joining us, we're doing meal prep this week, and I'm really having a great time. This is a great way for you to get organized for the week, get some meals prepared that you don't have to fuss about, and you can be the talk of the office with the lunch that you bring in. So I got the baked berry oatmeal in the oven, and I checked on it just a few minutes ago. It just looks fantastic. Cannot wait to share that with you. And I told you 350 on the temperature. It's actually 375, but our recipes are always available on our website at VeryVera.com. All right, so we're starting on the honey lemon chicken that we're going to serve over rice. And I went ahead and put a little bit of olive oil in my skillet, and I've got asparagus tips and broccoli that I've just sauteed down for about 10 to 12 minutes until they're fork tender. So that is all ready to go. So I'm going to move this off the heat and put my chicken over here. So on the chicken, on Tuesdays, the Fresh Market always has these chicken breasts on sale for $2.99. Perfect time to get yourself organized to do this. So you want to make sure that you cut it into bite-sized pieces, because this is a presentation where you're just going to use a fork. So I'm going to turn my heat up just a little bit. All we want to do here is just get it really kind of done on the outside, but not all the way done through, because again, you're going to reheat this, whether it's in the oven or in the microwave in the break room at work. So let's add a little bit of salt and pepper to this. And actually, you know, salt on chicken breast, you have to put more than you think you'll need on that. And this is a tricolor pepper I really like to use a lot. A little bit of kosher salt on that. So the really wonderful sauce that goes on top of this starts with chicken stock. I'm going to add to that fresh lemon juice. And I'm really using that honey a lot today. I used it in the first recipe, and here it is again in the second recipe. And if you have local honey in your community, I really recommend using that. They say it's really great for your allergies too, so that's a plus. All right, we've got some cornstarch, because this is going to get thick when you add it to the chicken. A little bit of ginger, soy sauce, sesame oil, that's my favorite part of this recipe actually, and then fresh garlic. I'm just going to whisk that together. And you know, we talked on the breakfast dish that it boiled down to, it was like less than 75 cents a serving to make that. And this is less than $2 to make this, especially if you take advantage of that sale at the Fresh Market. So all we're doing here is just getting the chicken done on the outside. And I'll turn that up just a little bit. And when you add in this mixture, it's going to start to thicken and continue to heat through. So I'm just going to pour that on. And the cornstarch is what's going to thicken this. So in terms of the rice, I love to use these boil and bag rices. You can get all different kinds of flavors, whether it's just a plain rice, jasmine rice, basmati rice, wild rice, whatever kind of rice you think would be really good with this. But you're going to divide this into 6 portions when you get ready to make this as part of your meal prep. We're going to add in the vegetables when this gets a little bit thicker. So in each of your plastic containers, you'll put a little bit of rice. You'll add in this, the chicken dish, and then the vegetables on top of that. So when you get to work with it, if you have frozen it, you certainly want to let it defrost first. So maybe take what you're taking to lunch tomorrow out of the freezer before you go to work that day. And then when you get to work, you're going to do it in like 30-second intervals just to get it hot through. All right, so as soon as this thickens up, during the break, I'm going to add in the vegetables, stir that together, and when we come back from the break, in Vera's Corner today, I'm going to talk a little bit more about all the other tips regarding meal prep and how to get things ready for the freezer, and then we're going to get started on those hearty beef marinated kabobs that are just delicious for dinner. So come back with us in just a few minutes. Ready to get started on meal prep? Freezing meals is a great way to save time and money if you'll follow these simple steps. Choose your container. Disposable aluminum or sturdy cardboard pans are ideal for items like lasagna and casseroles so you don't tie up a nice container for a long time. Sealable plastic bags are great for more liquid items like chili and tomato sauce. Flatten the bag as you seal so you can stack multiple frozen bags in the freezer. Smaller bags can be used to freeze smaller portions. Chill foods completely before freezing to avoid food poisoning. Make a homemade ice bath by putting some ice cubes and cold water in your kitchen sink, placing your pot in the sink and stirring until cooled. Be sure to label your frozen items with the date frozen, the name of the food, and the reheating instructions, so you're not scrambling for a recipe when you're ready to reheat. Obviously, one-pan meals like lasagna and casseroles are great for freezing, but try freezing things like cooked ground beef and grilled chicken breasts that can be easily warmed and used in a variety of meals. A little planning ahead can simplify your meals for the entire week. Welcome back, everybody, and we are well on our way for meal prep. We've taken care of breakfast, we have lunch done, and now we're going to work on those dinners when you're late coming home from work and you've got something easy and delicious to pull out for dinner. So this is a marinated beef and vegetable kebab. When you look at this recipe, it's going to call for a sirloin tip. This is a really good cut of beef, and if you don't see it in the display case when you're at the fresh market, just ask them to see if they have any beef tips in the back, because you really do want to use the sirloin. It has a great beef flavor and they'll be happy to cut it for you. So we've cut this into just 1-inch, 2-inch cubes, and I've got that already in my Ziploc bag with the edges folded over. So now I'm going to make the marinade that goes with it. It calls for olive oil, Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce, and you're hearing some of the same ingredients over and over, which also speaks to the economics of this, because a lot of your same ingredients you can use. Lemon juice is one of those. Dijon mustard. Then we've got fresh garlic. You used that just a few minutes ago as well. So if you're eating these for different times, you can use and repeat a lot of these same ingredients. Brown sugar we used, and then pepper. And that's quite a bit of pepper, but it's going to really work into that marinade well. You just want to mix that together, and now you've got your bag ready, your meat in there, and we're just going to pour this over, and this bag gets sealed up, and you want to marinate it for at least several hours, if not overnight. So that's ready to just get all the air out of it and get in the refrigerator, but I'm going to put that to the side because we went ahead and marinated some overnight. So this is ready. I've got my griddle on my boost part of my Sub-Zero Wolf induction cooktop, which is great because you just lay your griddle across these two eyes and it works like a real grill. This time of year it's perfect to do this inside, but you can also do this outside. So I've got my skewers ready. I've got vegetables, 3 different colors of peppers, red onions, and you're going to do about 2 pieces of meat per skewer. So this is where you get a little bit messy, but it's fun to do. All right, so we're going to thread, use your whole piece of your onion. And if you don't like your vegetables crispy, you might want to parboil them just a little bit. But I actually like the vegetables to be a little bit crispy. But these are about 1 inch in size. So we're going to get 2 pieces of meat per skewer. And just like the chicken, I'm not going to cook this all the way done. I'm going to move over now to my griddle and get these started. But this is a dish that if you don't cook it all the way well done, you can individually freeze these and then pull them out, and they're ready to go for your dinner. So, you know, we've been talking at the office about how this phenomenon of meal prep is all over Instagram right now. And actually, as a home economics major at the University of Georgia, that was part of what we studied, was how to be economical, how to plan your meals in advance, go to the grocery store on Sunday. These were all the things that we learned to do. And growing up with my children, we would do things that if I didn't have something made, I would just do a chicken pot pie, and I had a little song that I sung about it, so they'd be excited about what was for dinner. But there's plenty to be excited about on all of the recipes that we've done today, because they're thoughtful, they're delicious, and they're economical. So when we come back from the break, we're going to display all of this. We're going to talk a little bit more about how to prepare it for freezing, and then we're going to sample a little bit. So come back with us in just a few minutes. All right, we've talked about saving money, getting organized, and being prepared for the week. But all of this food looks like I've been slaving over the hot stove all day, and that's the point. You want to be able to enjoy what you've done. So we did 3 great recipes today, and let's start with the one that we did for breakfast. It's a berry oatmeal baked casserole that is just delicious. And one of the things that I said you could do with it is to cut it into squares for the children to have for snacks when they come home from school. So those are ready to go. If you want to prepare it for an event, you can put it in a casserole dish. It looks so attractive. And then to have for breakfast every morning, just on a plate with honey right after it comes out of the microwave or the oven, is just perfect for breakfast. The children are going to love it. Okay, and now the honey lemon chicken bowl. It is beautiful just as a dish for you to make for dinner one night, but we were able to get 6 servings out of it. We divided that between 6 aluminum pans. Do it just like they do it on Instagram and separate all of your ingredients, and then put your instructions on the top so you don't forget. But one of the things that I like to do with this is serve it with different types of rice. And if you're looking for a great rice dish, go back to our orange pecan wild rice that we did earlier in the season. It's beautiful. It would be really good with this dish. All right, then finally, for the men in your life, that marinated steak and vegetable kebab. We used sirloin tips, we marinated them, we did a wonderful sauce that got thick, and it just looks beautiful on the plate. This was easy to refurbish in our steam oven, our Wolf steam oven, which is just great for getting things reheated. It doesn't dry it out. It puts the moisture back in. It was just delicious. And all the extra vegetables that I didn't use on the skewer, I put those on the griddle and got those nice and charred to put in the center of the plate. Well, we've done quite a lot today. We've talked about saving money, saving time, and being organized. One of the things that I want to mention that's coming up on the VeryVera show is we're going to be doing a Hershey dish with a coffee chocolate rubbed steak coming up. We've been testing it. I know you're going to want to try this recipe when we get to that. And then one of the other things that we're doing is talking about ways to save money today. The beef dish can be done for less than $5 a person. The steak and the chicken, all of the other things, we saved a lot of money today on that. One of the keys is packaging ahead and knowing what your packages are going to be. And don't put something in the freezer in a dish that you're going to wish that you had left out to use for another event. So, The presentation today is from Vera, one of my favorite lines of beautiful china and glassware. They also have a line of linens. And so with our kitchen, the turquoise and the gray just looks great. And if you're looking for more information on their company, I hope you'll visit their website, because this is another female-owned business. She took a dream and made a business out of it. So tune in next week with us. We're going to be celebrating Valentine's Day. We've got some great recipes for that. And as I always say on the VeryVera show, no matter what you do it in good taste, and come back and join us again next week.
To see what's cooking with the VeryVera Show, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.